to all, everyone here, wishing you all happy Thanksgiving. You too. Happy Thanksgiving. Morning, how are you?
Good.
Morning, Todd.
Good morning.
Damp out there.
Yeah. I don't know what you guys did.
It's cold for rain.
Yeah, you did a rain dance?
It's better
We
than,
didn't need it.
it's better than snow.
Yeah.
Morning.
Morning, buddy.
Morning.
There's your mother-in-law.
Somebody's come home today.
Wow.
We gotta do one little procedure, put something in like an IV where she can dedicate her own self.
Where's she at?
Stoma.
We should be able to go home to her house or? I got you. That's good.
It's a bad time right now to go to their house, because we work the living room, carpet and everything, so it's kind of like a disaster.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, you know.
Wrong side of the desk. Nothing wrong with that.
You buddy liked it, huh? Yes. Sweet. That's sweet. This one happened to do, so I printed it. It has actually different. And to the second page.
They got all copies?
No, I can print some more down here.
Yeah, I got one already, so here's one. Perhaps you need that.
How you doing, Alan?
Good, how are you doing?
Great.
Ready for Thanksgiving?
No,
Whatever that means.
not quite.
That's right.
All right, I got 9 o'clock, call the meeting order, pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. We need an addition to the agenda with Aaron. Put her down for 9:45.
Aaron,
Aaron Burgers, yeah, she wanted to come in for something that Christie asked her to take care of. So put her down at 9:45. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
okay.
Okay, it's been probably moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Pat, you're on the hot seat.
Yeah, I just want to start about that small courtroom.
Yeah.
Insurance didn't do something fixes from the get-go. We get 1,200 back.
That was it?
Just a little bit, 5,000 to go. After that, so.
And I pretty much already spent that. I've got the ceiling done, I'm getting ready to paint the walls. There's carpet we gotta put back down, but it's shot. And it's gonna cost a little over $3,000 to do that room. That's with them tearing it out and everything, so. I didn't know where you wanted to pull the money from. I mean, I'm good with my budgets. They don't have money to do it. And I've got enough in there to cover the carpeting and paint. And we just thought I got a bill as of this morning, bells. They were here 4 different times.
Yeah.
What line item were you gonna take it out of, building maintenance?
Probably,
And you know what's in there?
roughly 33,000. What I have
And then there's also a capital outlay.
Right.
And what's in there?
in the custodial one.
No, the building maintenance, or building, maintenance, I guess, is there not?
Well, my custodial, I got 67,000.
Okay.
And the building, we don't want to. 671.
271,000 in it. Okay. That's what I was, and that's the building maintenance.
Right.
Do you feel like what you have to do, you can use out of this year's budget?
Right.
And it'll cover all the cost of the repairs and get it back to where it needs to be?
It'll be everything, but, yeah. I mean, if we can get the carpet put back down, we still want to move the room, but that's going to be on him, on Judge, to take care of all of that.
Oh, really? They're gonna spend money to,
Are they gonna do, or have you talked to them and see if they could, if they have any kind of a contingency fund that they can pull out of now to do that, rather than having to do it in a year?
He is looking, and I've been talking to him and Amy quite a bit, and they want to get a new sound system, and they're going down different avenues, getting different prices.
Because to me, it would behoove them to do it now while the room is torn up.
Right.
You know, I mean, just a freak circumstance that had happened, but it would be the smartest thing, in my opinion, to do it now rather than having a year from now, turn around and do it all over again.
Yeah, because carpet, it's like, if you put down carpet, it's probably gonna get tore up again.
Yeah, he wants to do a lot up there. He's like getting rid of that riser, I call it the riser that the judge sits on.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to get it on the ground, so we'll get rid of that also.
Sure.
And then the bench, he wants to stay with the same one, but do something different. Put different plywood on it, or family home roof, instead of six foot look. I mean, that'd be a cheap enough fix, but then he wants to add, or take away on this part and add this part.
So what do you say, right now,
His
let's
biggest,
just get it done, get it turned, and we can do the little stuff later as far as that.
I guess I'd like to, I mean, if he's planning on doing something or giving you direction, if his desire is to do something other than putting it back the way it is, I guess I'd like to see a floor plan, cost, who he's thinking is gonna do this. I mean,
but the sound system is the biggest issue. That's gonna be the biggest. What they had earlier is around 30 or 40,000 for the sound system they wanted.
For that little room,
Yeah, it's,
you said it did some kind of recording and all that good stuff too. I can't imagine it costing that much.
Well, they have, I think what they have is they have to record it if they don't have a court recorder.
yeah.
And for those kind of things, it's usually better just to have the proceeding recorded.
Sure.
so
They're looking at different.
for me, I'd like some hard numbers so that we have an understanding of what they're planning on doing. I mean, are they planning on closing off that door, putting another door in the wall, or what is his thought?
Their plans are to put the sound system in that back room and then piping it through the wall. And the judge would be able to come out of that door, leave the door where it's at. That's why he wants to shorten the bench up and get rid of like the witness stand, per se. And then find a desk that would fit where the lady sits in there for district court. Because right now they just got a table, what they're used for. And the biggest is going to be the sound system.
Yeah, I'd like to see some hard numbers.
Yeah.
I think he's got 2 or 3 that she's contacting.
Yeah, I mean, carpet, moving everything, who's gonna do that? Any cost in anything involved in it, I'd like to see that.
I told Judge Brenner, I said, I don't want nothing to do with the wiring on that because there's so much wiring.
Right.
Yep.
It's gonna be somebody else's puppy.
They were gonna take some of the money out of the law library, right?
Yeah, there's 2 or 3
Judge
different
Talbot.
plans
Okay.
that they were looking at. But he was still gonna talk to Judge Elder about it.
So
Tell him sooner rather than later would be a good thing for us to have some numbers and a hard look at what's going on up there.
otherwise, we just put it back together like it was and we'd be done with it. I mean, the cost of doing that is a little bit of paint, new carpet, and then it's back to where it was, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
I definitely got to kill the wall because it's fire down there, and I tried breaking that off and rubbing that off, and it's stained.
I'm sure the problem's fixed now.
It's hanging tight so far. But so, are you all right with me taking some of the money out of my budget to put towards that?
yeah, I think so, but like I said, I mean, if we're gonna do a full-on remodel and move everything around, let's get some numbers
Yep.
so that we can make that decision and know what the plan is. If they don't have enough money to do that at this point in time, and they wanna go back to the plan that both judges came down and talked to us about remodeling Amy's area space and, that little courtroom, then we put it back together for $4 or $5 grand and we just live with it until we can afford it. Until they can afford it.
Until they can afford to do it.
Well, I mean, it's gonna require some capital from us too. I mean,
Yeah, we've already said that, but I think that the majority was gonna come from their funds to switch things around and everything, so. For that little courtroom.
well, but Amy's room, that the office space was also part of that plan to get rid of
Right.
files and put offices.
Yes. But I mean, so right now, as far as I can see, that is basically two separate projects. It could be two separate projects.
Well, it could be, but ideally, if you're gonna do all that remodel, once you have a contractor here, it's best to do them both at the same time, or at least, I think.
I just don't see that big a remodel in the little courtroom. I mean,
It's not
swap-
that, yeah, it's
swap
just
ends and
moving wiring.
Yeah,
that's gonna be, the biggest thing's gonna be their sound system that they want.
yeah, again, I'd like to just see some hard numbers.
Yeah.
Well, no, Amy's not here today, so I don't know if she's gonna contact, and I don't know if Judge has to work today or not, it's somebody else. but
They're still holding court down here.
It's they need, yeah. Before we've only had one conflict, and then it's been resolved between the two parties, so.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds like fun.
Sounds good. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
I think you guys should see the ladies.
Scott, you're up.
Scott.
Did you have a chance to talk to Richard Spielman last week about, inroad down there off between 110 and 102? I got a text again on that. So,
What is, really not much of good at this point.
right. What was his thoughts on it?
Oh, he does, absolutely. Rock, he can rock on it. So,
What was his thoughts on that area where the individual's tearing the road up?
I mean, well, first off, is keep them off of it. Not be good at it. But everything you do that for you.
They're loading out the road.
Yes. Like I said, we've been that a few years ago. But
I would just let the sheriff know and tell him that he needs to have a conversation with him again. But we're gonna end up sending them a bill for reworking the road. I mean, and I'm sure you're gonna need to document pictures and all that good stuff.
There's one payroll change here, it's from Sheriff's Department, this is Newmeyer, and it's in the budget. I would guess it was, it's down here. You might, before we sign this, go ahead and call Mary, and send her an email or ask her if that is in the budget, so we can be sure.
Is it Ashley?
Yes, ask her.
Is there? We were asking about the Ashley's payroll change for the sheriff's department. That was in the budget. Can she have that? She's done.
Is that Aaron? Is that Aaron? 9:45.
Right, sorry.
Ready to call back on that? All right, you're up, buddy.
Okay. Real quick, got the Dawson County contract for, the AJ's study. You do with them every year.
And is, any changes on this that
Just the dates.
Todd needs to look over, okay? let me glance over that real quick for us.
This is probably gonna be a Christie question about K-Camp and that third party inspection. Folks that come through the heat,
Mm-hmm.
got any reports back from any of them yet?
They should come through the
Clerk's
clerk's office.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen it.
You might reach out or have somebody reach out to them and say, just checking on the inspection that was done.
Yeah, because there's a couple questions we have for them there, this answer.
Okay.
Do you remember what his name was?
I don't. Christie would have the email and the contact information. That's who he set this all up for, his clerk's office.
But a call a while back, I think we talked a little bit about H Road, 110, 113, and then 110 H to H4, about being closed or not. We haven't really found any information that it was closed, we'd like to close it. It's all grown over trees, you couldn't get through there without a probably forward or side by side, so we'd like to go ahead and close those two sections of road that go basically down to nowhere. That's all right.
What was the first one you said?
H Road, 110, 113. And 110, H4. We go on H to H4.
H to H.
It basically kind of goes up to somebody's driveway and then stops with a rock, and then, I mean, it's just brush and trees from then on.
So it's your recommendation that we go ahead and close that?
Close those sections.
110 to 114.
113. It's coming down part of H, there is gravel down to the house, and then again it comes off the forest. Don't really want to vacate it, because there's work for building, goes on back there, and it's got the driveway and everything, so. W Road project up here, we're basically up to the curbs, got a few more loads of rock we need to put in above the curbs, we'll ready that this week, just to cover some mud spots. And after that, we'll probably stop for the winter, that's how wet it is. We're still showing, this is an estimate, that we don't have the bill from Atchison yet, they're kind of keep track. We're still showing around $77,902 for that project that we have left.
To put on. Okay. And why stop?
Well, it's starting to get bad weather, and you're talking about snow this Wednesday.
But I think, is there a reason we can't take advantage of the good days when we have them though?
Yeah. I just say go tear a bunch of stuff up, and then you get a lot of moisture, and then you get a huge mud hole.
I think
I was hoping that project would be done.
Uh,
I was hoping that project, I thought we'd have that project done this year. We've been working on that for, what, a year and a half?
Well, it's been longer than that, but we've
not.
been bouncing back and forth. We took time off to go over there to
We did Deer Run.
Deer Run, and so that's,
Or K Road down there, 94, 110. All through that mess. So we had 11 projects added to our list last year. We can keep going.
that's your call. If we finish up to the curves right now and stop for the year, then the first thing we're going to get this spring, as soon as the weather clears up and we're able to go, we're going to finish that project. Because like I said, that has been a project that was there before I got elected.
Right.
So that has to be finished. We can't move on.
We got some of the ditching done above the curves, and we could possibly go in and keep adding rock there. We're gonna have to anyway. But those curves, there's a lot of dirt we're gonna have to haul in there. And again, to me, that's a bad time of year to be building the road up, and then
Why is there so much dirt that has to be brought in?
because the curb is so low right here where the guy's land is at, this is probably a 3-foot drop from the bottom of the curb to up to it. So again, rather than take all this dirt out from here, we probably take some of it and put it in the road, but we got to plug it in. Like I said, you know,
And the curves are often narrow to me too. I don't know,
yeah,
I don't know if it's just because of the trees on the south and the fence on the north, I don't know.
the trees on the south, we've already cleared those out. Yeah, cut them back.
Yeah,
Cut them back. So we had more. So we did that last week.
that's why you were putting the mulcher on the,
Yeah, but then, but that's another thing. We'll go over here.
Okay.
You know, talking about the boom being damaged.
right,
So there probably won't be any mulching until that's repaired. Well, there won't be any mulching until that's repaired.
okay. Like I said, definitely, if, go as long as you can, but if there is if, like I said, snow coming up, the rain now, the rain through this weekend, I can understand that. There are days where you can haul rock up there and even just pile it for right now. Just to be
They're
done.
hauling right now.
Okay.
Like I said, just to get some of that up around the above the curves.
Okay. Yeah, but W definitely has to be the first and foremost priority to get that done.
Right.
I'm still hearing about it,
Oh, I'm sure.
how long it's taking, so. Which I understand the ditching and stuff, not 4 years worth of ditching, so. Yeah,
Thank you.
that's, I know.
Like everything else was thrown in there. Okay, so you guys get back with me about H Road and whether it's closed or not, because like I said, the
I was just
person
looking
owns
at
the
that.
property down there, has called the sheriff's department about people going in there and doing illegal things, is what he said. And the sheriff's department says that road's closed and they won't go down there. Again, it's private property, then it's, why the person couldn't have somebody checked out for trespassing.
The sheriff said you can't go in there?
That's what this guy has said. They called the landowner down
So from this, where you said the gravel goes up to the house, this house is this complex here, and then farther back to the west. It looks like from there, or it's like 4 maybe.
That's 110, page 106.
So you're talking about from here on up to
Where page 4 is. H, you said it was H.
there. The gravel is over here.
And this is
that whole
Well, help.
1, 2, 1, 13,
What's that
The
mean?
gravel goes down so
Right.
far, it stops.
across
and
there.
then the residence there.
Gravel here stops.
Okay. It stops at this guy's driveway.
Yeah, just about right. So this portion here is
Close it.
yes. So I said, you can't. park
In the section lines of it.
So from this,
Should.
so from this property down around the corner to this property. So everybody, these folks come in from this way.
Right.
And they come in from the other way.
I think you can maybe try to side by side back here. I
You're
wouldn't-
you're talking from here this way, right?
Yeah, I think going up,
Yeah, and then going up.
right, to that residence. There.
There.
There's gravel there on the north, but coming that way.
What's the conversation been with the landowner?
Oh, okay, somebody called.
I mean, it's gravel all the way down
Yeah.
right there. That guy's property.
Yeah, down to the house.
What's the conversation been like with these homeowners? Have you had a conversation?
Have not had a conversation, but I'm pretty sure one of them has probably had it called.
I would just have a conversation ahead of time with the two landowners and one down on 102.
We can do that.
Yeah, before we make any decision, take any action, I talk to landowners and, tell them what our plans are tending gonna be.
Just see what they say, and then we can do a resolution to vacate once we advertise.
I really wouldn't want to vacate.
Just close. Okay.
As I said, you vacate it, then you lose all your,
Right.
right of way.
In future.
118 and B, say project, talk to the Army Corps of Engineers and talk to, they recommend I talk to the state also about getting a permit to do that repair out there, on Cross Creek that's eroding the bank away.
Curves.
Yeah, curves. Yeah. So I've talked to Michael Maris, and I've got most of the permits all filled out like I could, and he's got the information about 10 minutes ago about, how many acres are draining and coming through that area. It's like 72,000 acres that drain through that creek.
And is there any,
114 square miles.
is there any cost share to try to help with
I haven't
that?
found anything yet. So again, the state has sent me some drawings of kind of what we can do. After looking at it, I think a lot of the issue is not necessarily the creek coming underneath the way, but the water dumping off of our road underneath the right of way. So I talked to Matt the other day about possibly coming in and looking at maybe building that road up. If we have to get some filter back in there to build that up, that area, maybe build that road up a little bit and keep the water going east and west, just coming right at that low spot, in. So, again, just got to work.
And this is the, State Board of Water Resources, is who you're dealing with there for trying to get that, your permitting and everything?
Well, he gave me a name, I don't know if the state board of water resources. He gave me the lady's name and phone number to contact, so I did that. She sent me the permit, and filled out what I could. And,
Right.
Michael got me the information, the rest of it, so I have to send it back in. And she recommended getting an engineer involved with it, so, and that's why I reached out to Michael. He does our inspections.
Right.
Have you talked to the landowner there? Okay. Is there any chance that changing a little bit of the direction of that? You think
the creek or the road?
The creek.
Again, we'd be back in the.
That plays into a bigger portion. Yeah, I mean, that, you're really getting into.
I mean, to me, it would make sense to straighten that out just a little bit to keep it away from the road. But
Again, you get the state involved in changing the course of the
Yes.
you're not supposed to do any of that stuff. So,
There are things that can be allowed in that, yeah, I mean, it might be a good idea to reach out about that, yeah.
just curious, like,
So the Corps is very involved, right?
somewhat,
Waters of the United States.
I would like to,
it appears that the building maybe there.
I would like to make
You have to purchase
you have to
land.
purchase land. But again, if you want to do the,
It just seems like you
Make-
cut
I know.
this off, bring it over here. I mean, because it's running this direction and then on down this direction. Again, cutting some of this off, but I would think that the Corps would have some sort of suggestion how to fix the problem instead of, what we could do and maybe some assistance in that. To me, it wouldn't matter how far south we move the road, it's going to constantly
eventually,
continue to work that direction.
Yeah.
okay, one of our operators over here on 190 Road, just east of X Road, there's a new house that's been built there. They asked for a right-of-way permit back in April. they'd gone in and put the culvert in, the driveways in, and they didn't line the culvert up with the ditch. The ditch was kind of there, but not there. And so, operator called about the other day, so me and Matt went out and looked at it. And I met with the contractor last week, Friday, and I told him, I said, well, if you guys would call, I said, we just went out and cut this ditch. I said, it needs to be cut and redone anyway. Bottom line,
90th and X.
yeah, 190th, and it's about a half mile east of X Road. And I told him, I said, ditches we've been trying to clean out for the past couple of years. I said, we just haven't gotten to this one yet. I said, I put some flags out there for him. I said, we need to cut this ditch. And I said, where you got your culvert at now, it's not on our right of way. So the landowner is responsible for keeping it clean and rust out, replacing all that stuff. I said, if it's on our right of way, we take care of it. And I said, eventually if we come cut this ditch out like we need to, it's going to move the water, to where it needs to go instead of down the road like this now. So my recommendation to him, I said, and we can possibly do this for a price, is when we come in and cut that ditch, we go ahead and just cut straight across the driveway, pop the culvert out, move it up where it's supposed to be, and then put the rock back over.
So it's several feet.
Oh yeah.
Is
So right now the water would have to come down and divert back off the right of way, across his property and back.
would make sense.
Hate that stuff.
Does it state on those sheets that we give people that, hey, contact us, we'll send somebody out to help you align or do anything like that?
It's not. We basically go out there and Matt will go look and say, yes, you can put a culvert here.
Maybe
Not actually saying.
Yeah, maybe the conversation should be, and we need you to understand that the culvert needs to align with the ditch. And we need to, when you do this project, we'll come in and we'll clean a little bit of this out so that you got more to
That's
find.
what told the guy too. He was, this Group A homes, and then he had a subcontractor that was doing the culvert work and excavating work and all that stuff. So he got him on the phone. And I told him, I said, I gave him my card. I said, if you guys have this in the future, I said, call us. I said, we'll come out here and work with you to get this right the first time. So have to come back. They seem to be okay. Like I said, we moved the culvert charging. He said it's be a lot cheaper than him having a contractor come back out for the trip charge and all that stuff. So I was estimating probably about $300 or $400 to move the culvert. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds good to me.
I'm fine.
The bridges down here with the truck. And kind of where I'm at with this, in the blue, with the question marks, is determining ownership, or who's responsible for maintenance. Yes, maintenance. If you see there, the X's on the VIA routes and the tribal routes, those are all on what they're calling their routes, the tribe routes. So to me, I don't feel that we should be inspecting those bridges. The only one, they're the X on the county route, which you see there is the L152 is the only one. And again, that's off of their maps, saying that what's tribal route, what's county route, and what's the VIA route. So to me, that's the only one that we should be inspecting. We need to be concerned with all of them,
And these inspections, that inspection goes to the state of Kansas,
Yes.
and I would require proof of inspection back in the county.
You see all those B numbers?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All those are listed on, he's got numbers on his map. Okay. But all these 158s there, they are not registered with the federal. So 158 that he's got a B number on, are not on the federal numbering system.
Sure.
Those B numbers are pretty high too.
Yeah.
The B numbers I have are about 200, 300. So I don't know who gave them that B designation.
So like I said, I don't know if we need to have a separate work session from this to kind of go through this stuff, and then do you want me to talk to them about this ownership, or is that something where you guys need to
Them
work
being the
with?
tribe,
Yeah.
Well, I didn't bring my file of stuff, so I didn't know it was yet, so. Yeah, I think that's probably best is if we just kind of sit down with those. I got some stuff, that I printed out just so I didn't have to memorize it. But it's different than this, so then either we schedule time, maybe late in the morning we just do it here.
you're talking about a conversation with Road and Bridge from the tribe?
Well, yeah, that's why,
I kind of like to get straight what we got, and what we think. I'm still not kind of clear on.
the list here that I got, the description over here where it says NS Road and EW Road, that is their description. My description over here is the Jackson County location, and I put the longitude and latitude on there. And so my numbers are matching up with theirs, so we know that those bridges are the ones they're saying that they have numbers.
Well,
So
are they saying on each one through, it's not 20 of them, but these bridges here that they own all of them, or they're claiming all of them, or how do
just the ones with the B's on them,
we, yeah.
they're saying that, but again, on their map it says ownership unknown. It's got a question mark. So
On the BIA,
yeah, yes.
Well, the BIA map may be different than what they're claiming too, right? Because there's what BIA says they have, as a BIA bridge. They have separate ones for a tribal bridge, which isn't the same as a BIA.
So the ownership can be BIA, tribal, or county.
Yeah, or should be.
Or state.
Well,
State's on there.
Yeah.
but that's not going to be.
And ownership meaning maintenance, not not.
Okay.
rather than building the bridge, we're responsible for maintenance, we're responsible for inspections, things like that, yeah.
The other thing on here. Figures that B 999, this is ownership question. That B 998, ownership question.
Yeah, here's the ones that I was thinking of, 229, 251,
I think
And
I
like I
like
said,
that.
and they,
Work section with this,
these,
because
all
so many different.
federal, these are.
Really
included on it.
I mean, who are we?
I mean, I'd like to get straight what we are looking at.
No, I understand who would be included in that conversation.
I think for the
But like I
first
said,
part of it,
I've got-
us road and
got
Todd,
email.
everything straight out.
And
And
who?
Todd, to get
Yeah,
what he's got from EIA, because he's got some information from them. Before we get involved with that, to get squared on what we think we do, what we have.
To me, I'm
Do they have like a small PDF version of this somewhere they can?
I could probably email it to you.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, that's,
I think having a work session amongst us before we do anything, because, like I said, I've got enough of these lists that I'm confused which one I'm looking at, what I'm talking about.
too, because there's 3 different numbering systems. And
Yeah,
everybody's got their things moving around, and I got some context too behind. When you guys gave me the file, the old files, which are 81 to present, I kind of put a timeline together based on what I saw. So let's get the timeline, get the current designation as much as we can, and just try to figure out, because there is the question of, again, whether we have a duty to inspect it may be different than ownership. It may have,
yeah, I want our ducks in a row before we before we start involving anybody else. You know, we have involved asking questions, but I want to know for sure what we have and what we think and what, you know, get a firm grasp on what we're doing before we involve any other parties in our discussions.
Had talks with the guys out of Oklahoma, and they came out here a few months ago and asked if we could meet, and then they didn't come up because of the government shutdown, and they're supposed to be coming up again sometime soon. And I asked them if we could meet just to go over stuff because the Lonnie Hamer down there, he's dealing with these B numbers, and he's saying, you know, if there's a B number, then it's on the National Register. National Register up. The state lady that they pulled the map up. It's her, and her computer, me and my computer, and she agreed 100% that it's not on the National Register.
Even though they have B.
Even though they have B numbers. But again, she said there's nothing she can do because it's this a whole other group that monitors the reservations, but it's not state.
Well, yeah, that, you should talk to the state lady?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's a department in the federal government because there's a special program that's going to change things. Indian Reservation Drugs Program to something else. So, yeah.
So anyway, that's kind of where we
Okay.
kind of got this.
So let's see if we can figure out a time when we don't get together and sit down and get this hashed out. Because I'm just, I've got somebody listing charts like that thrown at me, and I'm like, okay, but where does that correlate with everything that we're talking about? So let's get together and do that.
So when is that? When are we gonna do that?
Well, just want
Well, let's see.
to carve out time in the next meeting, or?
That's October.
December 1.
December 1. What do we got? Do we have anything on December 1?
Joe's starting today.
Really?
Joe's starting that thing with the dragon in that.
Good. He'll probably be kicking the screen out.
Shortest work. Shortest tenure of anybody. One hour.
I don't see that we have anything on December 1st. As far as the time
Just
then,
wanna,
good.
Put it after my time, and we'll remember to do my stuff. And
Okay.
Sooner the better.
Yeah, I agree.
So keep a little extra time on the agenda.
Okay, Bryson got me some information on that boom, that excavator. We did have a little chat there at the meeting Friday about damaging equipment, and if you see something banging or hitting something where it's not supposed to be, please let somebody know so we can get on top of it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, did anybody give any indication that, oh yeah, that's been happening for,
No.
I mean,
And you can tell it's been banging for a while. It's all scraped up underneath.
the Matt does he not look at the equipment? I'm really disappointed. I mean, that's like running a uniloader with a flat tire. Yeah, it's flat. What do you want me to do?
Backhoe was sitting down the other day with a flat tire on it, so I asked Bryce if we would contact him on it. No. So it's that time they're flat. We wouldn't fix it.
Well,
That kind of stuff.
And I think that you were onto it last week, that you're going to have to assign equipment to a person to go over rather than just whoever the operator is for that day unit. They still need, the operator for the day still needs to do a checklist before he gets in and operates it. But as far as a full-blown walk around, it should be assigned to one person because nobody's taking responsibility to do it. So that way, you know, if something like this does come up again to where you have damage like that, then you can go back and say, when did you start seeing this? Why didn't you report it? So on and so forth. If the operators aren't going to take the responsibility to do it on their daily checks, to note it even, I mean, it should be noted at least.
Right.
So I think that you were on the right step, like you did down
Yeah,
east here.
everybody down here has been assigned a piece of, or two pieces of equipment
Yeah. So I guess that's the way I try it right now and see if that works.
Okay, back to repairing that, like I said before, Cat, then what the responsibility to try to cut it out and mold it, so you're looking at it, and they look for a used boom, so we're looking at a new boom, they don't have a used one. There is one on a ship right now, it's supposed to be in 4 to 6 weeks, nobody's got their name on it. If we are interested in it, we need to get our name on it, or somebody they did it for us.
So it's a cat boom made somewhere else.
China.
Are you kidding me?
Not like Sandy. So anyway, we didn't need to get her name on it. If not, we're looking at probably 4 to 5 months to get one ordered and sent over to us. This, here you're looking at maybe 4 to 6 months.
Cost.
$20,000, about $23,000.
I figured it'd be worse than that.
Just for the boat, well, so have our labor.
And Cat wants nothing to do with welding the boom back up because the aftermarket piece was put on it.
They don't want the liability in case it were to fail.
Have you checked with any other welding shops?
Have not. You know, you guys want to look at something like that, because you're still, then again, we're making that decision, and if it does fail, and you kill somebody, where you at then? I don't want to be one, because my own personal stuff, shoot, yeah.
I just can't believe the Cat is not willing to look at it at their own certified weld shop and weld it up. That just kind of puzzles me that they don't want to do it.
I was Bryson talking to the cat down here,
Yeah.
so I can maybe reach out someplace else. Call them back and talk to them personally.
I'd try that. I mean, because that just doesn't sound right. They have a certified weld shop down there. They weld on their equipment all the time. Why they would say that they don't want to weld on that and put their stamp on it, just kind of puzzled me.
Is it because it's going to be more than $20,000 just to repair?
Yeah, I don't know. You didn't know. I don't think they can give a price for it.
They just said they didn't want to do it.
Do you have pictures of it?
No, but looking at the boom, those things are put together in chunks anyway.
Yeah.
So I can dig deeper into it.
Well, I mean, so here's the thing though. How long are we gonna?
I would put your name on
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
We can always back out later.
I'd put your name on it right now. If it's going to be a 3 to 4 month wait, we can have that down for 3 to 4 months, or 4 to 5 months. We can have that down for 4 to 5 months.
Right. Because right now there's no mulching that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's what
So I'd get your name on it. Do we have to put a deposit down on it?
I didn't say.
And if we do back out of it, is the deposit going to be refundable?
Who runs the machine the majority of the time?
Probably Todd Robbins. And he's probably the one that's most. But there have been multiple people in it, including him.
And when was it? So what was the indicator that finally somebody went, hey?
They're putting the mulching head out here on it, and they have to notice that, the boom was bent in, and they got to look closer, and they saw that the sides were mulched out, and banging so hard up against it. That's shock guys call it.
I'm disappointed they haven't caught for that. There should have been shiny metal looking at you if the sides are bulged out.
It's rusted up right there.
Okay. Yeah, I'd get your name on it, and get the county's name on that bid boom, and do some research.
Then the fuel reimbursement, Jennifer's going back and working on it again, because apparently something was changed. She got them more information than they needed, so now she's going back through it again and getting that information. Then, Matt gave me a list of rock we hauled last week and some tubes we washed. The R286, 302, just one copy is there.
And while we're waiting on that, Todd looked over this contract, said it was good to go. So this is an agreement for the disposal of household hazardous waste with Doniphan County. So I would entertain a motion to enter into this agreement.
So moved.
Okay, it's probably moved and seconded to enter into an agreement with Doniphan County for disposal of household hazardous waste from November 2025 to 1st of January 2026. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Mr. Chairman, is that you get a copy of?
Clerk can sign it too. Clerk can copy it.
And then I'll need a copy of that as
I get a copy.
I gave you that.
That's the original. I have to mail this to them. And I'll have a copy for our record. Okay, back to roads where we hauled rock. We had R286 to 302, Z 222 214, 190 road W to X, L road 230 to 238, J4 270 to 278, 246 C to D, that was when we had a blowout on 150 down here by the first drive to the west of 150 and 75. There's a piece of highway that went back in there, roadway that went back in there, late about blowouts and things. So it's asphalt.
The asphalt.
Yes. So we went in and just dug it and put rock down in the holes.
Going to the casino.
No.
Going east.
No, going west on 150. There's a drive, the first drive going off, that goes down to the house. Okay, and we snow plow that little piece of road. It's probably, I don't know, 400 to 500.
Right by the pond.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she called and we went in and we didn't asphalt it, like all where it wants to be, so we just got to get out.
And that's ours to maintain.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's really nice to do something with that too, because we get some more driveway than the road. Like I said, it goes back to the gate. Property. No, sir. Anyway, we'll fix that up. We hauled 100 tons of sand last week for the weather we had. And it washed 4 pipes, 2 on 158. So we're ditching U to B, 1 on 118, 06 ditching, and 1 on 110 and 06 for ditching.
And the sand was for
Our snow. We were mixed with the sand and salt. We got all 100 tons in. Just keep people busy.
I had a call yesterday about, let's see, 238 east of T to V. There's several mud holes on there that they need to take care of, they looked at. And then from T south of 238 to 16. So it's south on T.
Yeah.
There's several mud holes on there. And there are several mud holes north of T also, so.
So do we have a new employee to make an offer?
I think that's what he said. It is.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, he accepted,
okay.
had start date the first December. Or, sorry,
That's
Sure.
tough, yeah. But anyway, already got the information from Mary, and last week, I think, got the paperwork and stuff.
Yeah.
Waiting on drug screen, background check went through. So any others? Now, Ron Carnes, you said,
That's his address, but he says on the end road coming to his house, there's several spots.
That's the road that those guys broke their tag team the other day, 190th, and we called you too, huh?
I had a message from him about a month ago too. He said nothing's been done to him.
Part of that conversation though is too, just so everybody understands, he told them to stay off that road. And so,
Bob
If-
Barn did?
yes, and in my conversation with one of the operators, I said, he doesn't have the authority to tell you to do that. So you should report that to Scott at this point, Joe, when he starts. They don't have the authority to tell you to stay off of the road and maintain it and do it as you see fit or give them direction. And he called me, and I believe they went up there and did some work. I got a text from him, said that he appreciated it. But so that's just a little bit more information
Okay,
to help with context.
because this was the end of October, he said. You got several spots on roads to my house, 21600 N Road, where the base has given way and it's pure mud. Probably needs someone to add some rock.
we did have rock out there on 190th Road last week, so I don't know if that's matches. Oh, end road was the over.
Yeah, it's over there.
But for sure, I'll check.
And he sent me a message over the weekend saying, just to let you know, nothing's been done.
Really?
So,
I got a message.
sure it's from Ron Clark?
Ron?
Ron.
Oh,
Ron is down there, Rob is out there.
thank you.
They're brothers. Two different people.
That would solve that problem.
That's it. Okay, two different people, yes.
Ron used to work for the county.
That's right. Yes,
Okay, we'll check that.
okay.
Okay.
That's it for me, I don't have anything else.
I do.
Huh?
I do. I'll just call you. Right.
Now, what, the first, what have you done? Did you say we'll get on the agenda after your
I'll
panel?
let you know what time. I have to go, I don't think there's anything scheduled that I need, but I'll assign time on the agenda.
Yeah, it's usually at 10, so
Okay.
this one was 10:15.
Well, you know, reschedule mine until, instead of doing 9, unless that's gonna interfere with other folks.
I'll look when I get upstairs.
Okay, just let me know.
Maybe you could switch up too. Start at 9:15.
That way,
Save you 2 trips.
as I say, you can have a wrap everything up.
No problem.
See ya.
Yeah, and we're still waiting for Christie to get back and go through the numbers on the rock. Aaron's showing we have $2,900 in rock money, and we're showing about 83,000. So we kind of just stopped hauling rock, except for judges until we get some numbers figured out.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah. No problem. Initially, came in here one time too. I don't know when that's represented fire code wise.
Oops, sorry. Okay, at this time, I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session for non-elected personnel matters
So moved.
for 10 minutes.
Second.
Starting 10:03,
Yes.
Zoom in this room.
Yes.
Okay.
Pardon? 10:04?
Sure.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye, all opposed, same sign. Motion carried to include the commissioners, Todd and Adrian.
How many minutes do you say?
10. 14. Tara,
You sent a an email from Adrian.
You're gonna extend if you want to.
Oh, you want to extend? Okay.
This is Jennifer's, I'll take that.
Okay, motion to extend for 5 minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved second to extend the executive session for 5 minutes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye, all opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Ready?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me know if I need to come back.
Okay,
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Welcome.
came down part of it.
Okay.
And yeah, now that we're back in session, I think it would be a good idea to
Have him back in.
call him and have him come back this determined time.
hold this resolution number, do we need to go ahead and pass this today?
Well, I suggest, yeah, they probably want to.
Okay.
I think it's 23.
On track 25 and 25.
23? All right. We have before us the resolution 2025-23. I wrote down 25 because you said that. Authorizing the levy of 1/4% countywide retail or sales tax for rural health resources in Jackson County. I would entertain a motion to pass this resolution.
Like a minute, just to finish reading.
Oh, sure. Yep. Who would you call Scott and ask him if he'd come back in, please?
Right now.
Yep. We're going to keep first. Well, call Scott and ask him if he'd come back in and
Yeah.
we'll get back.
Nice to be around.
See, he might be out of town somewhere.
Call it first.
Yeah, call him first.
Call Kate first.
Whatever.
What do you want first?
Well, I'd say Kate, because I can't talk about her
Listen, share.
physically.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to adopt resolution number 2025-23, a resolution offering the levy of 1/4% countywide retailer sales tax for rural health resources in Jackson County. Any further discussion?
Todd asked me.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Should be coming down.
Okay, that's number one.
What?
So that's number one.
Okay.
So,
And call Scott.
And now ask him to come back to.
Yes.
Did you just hang out until you're ready?
Yep.
Kate's not coming in.
She is.
This resolution, I guess, just I want to make sure, it doesn't say in here, it's for rural health care. So does that mean any rural health care agency within this county has?
That's the name.
Now, it specifically says for rural health resources, Jackson County, Kansas, and that is rural health resources. Jackson
That's their
County.
official name?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
That clarifies.
You look under soon in the paper, it's rural health resources.
Rural health resources, so it is named directly.
Yep.
Not just a general term,
No.
rural health.
No.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to
Good
note that I did a bit of a change because I don't know how it got in there, but you said it takes effect on January 1, 2026. I think because of the way that the quarters work, even if you did, no matter how you do it, it doesn't hit on the tax rolls until April, next quarter. Right? Because you send it to the
Oh, you
state.
don't think they'll get it in February? No?
I'm pretty sure that the statute says you can't impose it until it's like 9 days after the,
Oh, okay.
After it's voted in. Okay,
Hi.
Morning, Kate.
They're just.
yeah, I think you got those,
It's sent.
yeah, you have to have some certified copy of this resolution to the state director of taxation so they can impose the tax.
and I'll get you the email, thank you. It's an email on the floodplain stuff. Thank you. I did.
Yeah, I got that too. I haven't had a chance to consult it.
What do you have now? During my time, it's my time.
New letter for the
Yeah.
planning commission.
And you guys got a compliment the other day from a gentleman who was 83, who was too close to the right away. He said you guys are very helpful. He appreciated all that you were doing for him. So he was happy. So.
I don't know if you guys signed this one yet.
We signed this last week.
Did you? Okay.
Did we do this
Yeah,
last
we
week?
did, okay.
The what?
The terms for the
Terms for the plan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
signed. I don't, do you have a copy? Do I have a copy? I don't remember seeing it.
Can I keep this one?
Sure.
You don't have a copy upstairs?
Last week?
Yeah, I thought we did this last week.
It was probably the week before.
I don't remember it from last week when I was down here.
Okay, but I think we have done.
Did you ask me to keep copies for your book like
Yeah.
last time when we did that? So you probably got it.
I have.
Maybe you put the signed copy in there.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I'll just need a copy of the signed one. Okay, so we have some that are, terms are ending.
Because we approved this, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So this one's still thinking about it, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. And then the other 2, 3, so they're 3.
Yeah, I have a copy of the signed one in my book.
Is that your copy or is that the original?
It's a copy. I didn't have the original.
Well, I can have a copy of
I
the
didn't
copy.
just take it.
I just need the signatures.
I'm just making sure.
I know, but do you want this?
Just making sure.
Here, you can have that, and I'll take the copy she just gave me.
That looks like
Can you
original
copy
ink.
that? Just in case I can't find it. It's probably up there, but I
Really, me for?
can, you're probably down, right?
Oh, well, yeah. But yeah, apparently the meeting's taken over. I don't know. Question we had last time at the meeting. First question was, when you do a variance, do you have to have notice to certain parties? And the statute only requires notice specifically mailed to adjoining landowners when there's a change or an amendment. It doesn't require it when there's a variance. However, both the code and the statute say that you are to have a hearing on a variance or any other similar type of action. So, because of that, I think you need to give a publication notice that you're going to have a hearing on something like a variance. Because it's a quasi-judicial function, but you don't need to have a letter specifically going to people.
It does need to go to the zoning and planning appeals.
Yeah, Board of Zoning Appeals, separately, but it's notice, publication, and not to neighboring landowners.
So you had mentioned, change or amendment.
Yeah,
So it would be a change to the setbacks, like the normal setbacks. So wouldn't that require, I mean, that's a change.
well, I think if you were to say, we're changing the setbacks for all, residential too.
That would be an amendment.
That would be an amendment, and that would be required to notice, and if there's a general change, then it would not be to the neighbors, because it's just, you're changing it overall. If you change it for one property, say we're changing the setbacks for one property, then you would then have to, you have to notify the neighbors. A variance should only be granted is if the property itself is of strange shape, or that specifically the property itself dictates the change. Right, so I can't remember
Size.
I can't remember what your specific fact situation was. But yeah, if you had, for whatever reason, the lot was oddly shaped and couldn't fit within the setbacks, then that's a variance to my mind. Because it's just for that property, it's only because the property's odd. And then you would just need to have the variance hearing at some point in time that's noticed in the paper.
So, but I can't restrict their right to go before the appeals board in whatever regard they want to go before the appeals board,
Yeah,
right?
well,
So even though it doesn't statutorily fall under certain guidelines for a variance, they apply for it, they go before the appeals board.
Well, I think probably if you look, perfect world procedure would be, you would say, if they came into you, you're filing an application for a variance. And if it fails, maybe they have the right to then proceed with the change. Or, you're right, if they want to have a zoning change as a planning commission item, then that would trigger that notice to everybody. Right? Different procedure, so neighbors too. So I don't know how.
So there's no way to speed this process up if everybody involved in it, specifically building too close to somebody else's property within that 40-footer, there's no way to speed that process up.
So how would the neighbors know unless the neighbors talked to each other and they were okay with it, they both came in at that time?
That's the
That's
point
what
I'm
you're-
making.
Yeah, that's what he's making, is that would speed things up that way. If
So
everybody's in agreement.
if I call you and I say, I want to build X building, and I want to put it right here, and you say, well, that's within the 40-foot, right? If I'm at 35 feet, you would say to them, if you can get the owner of the adjacent property to sign off of it and come to the meeting or whatever, we can give you a variance. But you're saying they have to come to a regular meeting, then go to the zoning and planning, or
No,
straight to zoning and
They go
planning?
through the appeals process.
Right to the
For
appeals.
the variance,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's my I'm distinguishing very narrowly on the basis of what the code says, what the statute says about what a variance is. I mean,
Okay.
if you have full quarter section, right? You're building your house, and for whatever reason you want to build 35 feet away, that's not a variance. Because there's nothing dictating that you have to have it right there, right? Because you have all this other property that you can use and put it, technically, right? If you've got a little narrow lot, that was an old school lot or something, and, you know, there's no way to fit because of the shape of the property, and because of, you know, there's a ridge of rock or whatever, you can't put the house anywhere but there. That's a variance.
Why
Because
would
you're dictated by the size and shape.
But if the topography, for whatever reason, said, I gotta build it here.
Yeah, and that's another thing, if you can come in on the quarter section and say, hey, this can't be built anywhere else.
Right, so that would still be a variance. And that would, okay. So the process would be to go straight to the zoning and planning. Or, I mean, to
The appeal
the appeal board. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
And then that would be noticed, or is not required to be noticed, under the code or the statute, to the neighbors, which is publication of the hearing.
Did you find anything in our zoning regs that said notice is given? Because that's
No.
where I'm thinking it was.
Well, I think, I didn't see anything, but I'm interpreting the fact that you have what is considered a quasi-judicial finding in a hearing as a due process connection, meaning there's no explicit statement, and maybe there should be, so you guys can just kind of say, hey, I don't have a choice in the matter, I've got to do it this way. Because,
I mean, we've always sent out 1,000-foot letters whenever.
Yeah, and I think if that's the case, and that's always done, I would have no problem saying that's a good policy, we should continue to do it, because you don't need it. But you give a more due process, and that's what that is the requirement I'm imposing here, notice for the paper is not supposed to either, but it is due process. And then you're just adding extra stuff that benefits for a pretty cheap price. Postage stamp and a little bit of your time to find it. So if you guys have a policy of always sending out on those, I don't have a problem. I'm just saying it's not required. Specifically by either the code or statute or variances.
Notification to neighbors.
But I think it's a great idea, right? Because you just said, you know, the neighbors are good with it. There's no better way than to do it that way. And I suppose your landowner could probably complain because, you know, about that, nobody would have known about it, but that's a pretty crappy complaint to my mind. You know, so I think that's fine. Does that make sense? I mean, it's not required, but good plan.
Good.
The next one was kind of floodplain related, was the question of whether or not you had to, I mean, what was the effect of and not enforcing for purposes of insurance. And the procedure and triggers aren't very clear, but what happens is that under the regs, FEMA is able to send, I'm sure I remember the proper terms of this. They'll send a letter of probation that they got to give you written notice of specific errors, but you're on a 90-day probationary period. They then, if you don't satisfy them as to what happened, they can then suspend the program for a year. And what they do is existing insurance programs, there's a surcharge that's imposed on the holders of the insurance, meaning they pay extra. They aren't canceled. But
And that is everybody that has flood insurance in the county will be paying extra for the one that got granted the variance, right? Is that
So
what you're
the
saying?
ones that currently have the insurance would get a surcharge. But does it say anything about no one new could be getting insurance? So,
yeah, and I think that's, if I'm remembering right, it was that you are suspended. Yeah, they don't. Let's see here. And this is under a reg here. I'm giving the number because it's long. You may want to look at it. It's 44 CFR 59.24. And I can't remember if during that suspension that you can't get it, or if they just have to enter something extra. And I actually think that, I don't think that they can do suspension. There's no cancellation. I think the only way you have them canceling the ability to get the insurance or get the mortgage back, whatever it is that you don't pass the resolution, or you repeal it for some reason. I think that
So by allowing somebody to continue into the floodplain doesn't cancel us.
no, and I don't think there isn't any clue here that it's one violation that gets you that inherently that you are enforcing, or at least trying to enforce, or that doesn't sound like it's going to be enough to have them suspended. It might, I guess, if you had, it sounds like you had a history of doing it, they might put you on probation, but the probation is required first, so you have some notice. How you would
It
get,
doesn't make any sense to me.
well, it makes sense to me only in the bureaucratic mindset. It is pretty clear, meaning they send the form resolution to you guys, they send it back when, I can't remember when it's done, but it's 2010. So FEMA sends out that 2010. It says, you guys can change some things, but pass this resolution, and you can get benefits of the program. Right? So you pass it. Now, as long as that's in place, the big check mark is on the big box at the top of the page. And they're happy. Do they go out and are they actively monitoring the situation in the county so that they have another check mark when you fail to do something? No. If you repeal it, then they know. If there's a change in the flood map, right, they amend the flood map, and they say, okay, we've amended the flood map, now you gotta pass a new resolution. Oh, no, right. Bad news, but
Right.
those are the big, that's what they're paying attention to. That on one location, that somebody built something without your knowledge, and violated floodplain, I don't think triggers the bells, right?
Gotcha.
I think if you did, if you announced open season.
Right.
And said, you know, the floodplain ordinance is not, or resolution is not, we're just not gonna comply, because whatever. Maybe get somebody interested. But otherwise, I don't know that they are so fine tuned. That's not an excuse to kind of let somebody off the hook, obviously. I just don't think you guys would be at fault for somebody building something that they didn't get a permit for, didn't get any clearance for, that doesn't comply with the flood.
What concerns me here on this whole thing now is the fact that because of what happened in the appeals or planning, which one was it? Appeals.
Appeals.
In the appeals, where they said, yeah, that's okay, go ahead and do it.
Well, I think there was a little more to it than that, because I reached out to Luke Kennedy.
I read Luke's explanation. He sent me an explanation. Yeah, I agree, there's a little more to it than that, but, and there was two of them, he was one of them that voted no.
Correct.
I think that this whole thing, though, opens up a can of worms, because now, where does it stop?
So, in my conversation with Luke, and I'm gonna ask Kate to verify this, there's only one portion of that building that is actually below, a foot below the floodplain. You're saying the whole thing? Okay. Thank you.
So there again, we're you know, we let these guys off the hook. So the next person that does it says, well, you did that to them, so I get it too.
Well, but the problem is that they've got the zoning fixed, they don't have the floodplain fixed. Because the Board of Zoning, the Board of Appeals approved the floodplain ordinance. Or did they even ask? Meaning I'm separating out, you got a building on there that's not approved, that is a zoning problem.
Correct.
And then you've got a separate thing that's a
Floodplain.
floodplain problem on top of it. And the statute says, you know, you guys have limits on your ability to control agricultural buildings according to state statute, but they specifically say that doesn't apply to floodplain. So if the zoning appeals board gives zoning approval, that doesn't do anything about the floodplain still standing out. And they've got to comply, right? And they haven't been cleared, nobody's cleared anything.
Clearing it on the use of it.
Or
The zoning,
or that they have to,
they get
What-
Zoning
it?
conflict.
Did the zoning appeals board give them permission? Okay, it's okay for you to have that building here based on the county, but it still, as Todd says, doesn't clear them from the floodplain issue.
The appeal was for the option to wet floodproof an ag building in the floodplain.
The first part of that, to me, isn't correct because it's not an ag building. So, we gotta back up there, but I mean, it's not an ag building. Based on the information that was provided for the commissioners, it does not appear to be an ag-only building.
Agreed.
Yes, maybe there's some cows and chickens that walk through it from time to time, but when you're building furniture for resale, that speaks that it's a commercial enterprise.
So that was one of the things, requirements that the appeals board said, was that it would have to be ag use specific, exclusive ag use.
Yeah,
And there were 5 of them total. I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it should be in the minutes, like.
so who's going to verify that that's done?
Well, it would probably be me.
So what was, when we initiated the contact with this individual, and they realized, okay, we didn't have a building permit, they filled out a building permit and they paid a fine, correct? Yes?
They filled out a building permit, nothing has been done with that yet. No permit has been issued, nothing.
Okay, so that portion of it hasn't even been addressed yet by the Board of Appeals.
Well, I don't know, does the Board of Appeals deal with that, or is it
No.
you?
So
That would just be our office.
Just administer?
okay, so
Now,
you-
it's the question of ag building or not, right?
Because that's important, because the ag building gets you out of all zone, pretty much all zoning problems, right? Meaning, not floodplain, but all
The
zoning.
zoning
Yeah.
portion of it.
Because it's an ag building, then basically it can be built in. Right? Right. I mean, the statute says that. But,
Well, it says as long as the resolution has exclusions for ag, and our floodplain resolution does not have an exclusion for ag.
okay.
So,
Well, yeah, and I'm still trying to keep my
Yeah.
area separate here, because here's floodplain, and here's zoning. And if it wasn't in a floodplain, and they had built it, and it's truly an ag building, no, we didn't debate it, then there isn't a zoning problem. There's a building permit problem, but the zoning problem isn't there. Right?
yes.
Okay.
Agreed?
Okay, so we still got a building permit problem because they didn't get a permit. And the only issue now is, to my mind, is it an ag building and compliance with, still compliance with the floodplain, because it doesn't matter if it's an ag building. The floodplain rules. So, I guess goes back to conditions. They put conditions on the variance that said, you guys can expect for
that it has to meet the wet flood proofing requirements, that it has to be exclusively used for ag.
But shouldn't we approach one first and then the other?
How do we do that?
Well, first off, he doesn't have a building permit, so therefore we've got to address that. And
You can't get a building permit because it's in the floodplain, and it's not an ag building, right? So it's a vicious circle.
Well, I think they approved wet flood proofing. Not, you may not like it, but they did it. I wonder whether you guys have a say in that. If there's an appeal from. Anyway.
So they approved it with floodproofing and proof of floodproofing.
And yes, well, they have to wet flood proof it, which would be part of your building permit, wouldn't it? You'd have to submit plans and say, here's how we're doing it.
Okay, so has he done any of that? Has he approached?
That was that last Thursday? Yeah. So, none of that has been done. My thing was, there's a certificate for an engineer, professional engineer, to sign off on dry flood proofing. There isn't one for wet flood proofing, which we had that conversation, like, it needs to be signed off from an engineer standpoint.
Who
that
made
it needs-
who made the recommendation to do wet versus dry?
He did. Well, he looked through FEMA
Okay.
requirements.
Shouldn't that be the determination of the county or one of its boards? I mean,
Well,
no,
he can still appeal it.
Yeah, it's the ordinance and regs would say, I think wet flood proofing is more onerous, isn't it, than dry flood proofing?
There has to be so many square inches or square feet of opening. It has to meet certain requirements.
Yeah, I just think that's, I mean, you say wet flood proofing, I think that's, looking at what I saw about those.
it's a lot more difficult.
It wasn't a walk in the park in any case.
Okay. We
So-
didn't, at the end of the day, we didn't build a building there. So to me, it's putting it back on the owner of the property of the building that here's what you have to do if you want to keep this building. If you don't, you're gonna have to move it. And I don't think he wants to move concrete.
Well, I think he has to, I mean, in all this, he has to have like water flowing through it, he has to have holes in the bottom. If there's mechanicals, they have to be raised up above. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of work.
I mean, as Mark has said, I mean, you let one go and there's gonna be more. A, he completely ignored the process. B, he built a floodplain, and had he asked for it. So to me, it's not our problem to sit here and debate how he does it. It's, here's what you need to do to make it right. You get an engineer to sign off on it, come back to our office, we'll then proceed with giving you a building permit, and we'll work from there. But I think we're spending a lot of time, trying to decide how you should approach it. Not my decision. I mean, other than make it right so that FEMA is good with it, because those storage containers, I think there was a couple of storage containers, they may be screwed down a little bit. What's to keep them floating those down the river and get another house?
Last week.
Uh,
I know my point last week.
No, I know.
I can take a 6-inch, pack on, say, well, 6 acres of the.
Yeah, that was another requirement, sorry, you said that, and yes, that's another requirement.
yeah,
The answer for Kate probably is, isn't it that you're worried, it doesn't really say engineering, but we're saying engineering. And if there's a problem with that, then let us know, and I'll tell them. But I have no problem saying, wet flood proofing is an engineering question, and he has to submit it.
Yeah.
And that's the permit is our level, so you won't get a building permit unless you do it.
So essentially, I have to have the time to put that form together because one does not exist. I've reached out to Division of Water Resources, one of the engineers there, and she's given me some suggestions, so I'll get that done.
Yeah, I mean,
sooner than later.
I think that's the right.
and I think if and when he comes in to file for the building permit, then there is a fine process. I mean, there has to be consequences when people do things like that. I mean, if they're not, then nobody's going to follow the rule of law or the resolutions that we set up.
Yep.
And,
So there are two fines, I guess, options. There's the doubling the permit fee. There's that one.
Okay.
Then there's the $500, like the statutory fine. There's that one, which I don't know.
Up to 500 or 500?
And each day is an existing or an additional.
100?
I don't think it says that. I think it just says 500. And each day is an additional
But you don't have a permit.
offense.
Yeah. Well, I think they're both in play for this guy. I mean, right? I mean, I get it that if this was a shed you bought at Home Depot for $600, made by Rubbermaid, and they threw it on the property, yeah, double that. But if you build an entire structure like you did, that was maybe huge, you gotta know, you gotta have that. So I'm saying that other piece in play, we're just gonna figure out what the reasonable amount is of that penalty for the time it takes us to do all this jazz. So I think, it's
I think we're spending way too much time on this, and the ball's in his court.
And it needs to be, certified, some way of certifying that he's done whatever has to do to it to make it acceptable for people.
So can I work with you then on that fine?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, it's gonna be,
On that.
yep, well, I'm glad to help out. And just go with what I've seen before.
Okay.
And this all assumes that he's gonna hit the other marks too. Wet flood proof is gonna be done.
All right. Thank you,
Did you
You got
the
more?
fire?
Yeah, we're gonna stick with that.
Yeah, can we, for the fire marshal, let's go ahead and get him on going here.
Sure. How we all doing?
Good.
How are you, sir?
Sure, didn't we? I think we met out in a field where you were blackened and dealing with all kinds of issues.
He came to my rescue.
Well, I didn't, all I did was just make sure they got to you. They were having a hard time. The fire trucks were going by. And he was out in the field beating it down, so. Okay, if I said,
Oh, you
I
bet.
apologize. I'm just not used to all this type of thing. I'm more used to dealing with state legislators. So, thank you for Kate for inviting me up and you folks. My name is Mark Engholm. I am the state fire marshal for Kansas. I understand you have some questions. I don't know if you want me to just go with questions or would you rather I kind of give you a spiel first on kind of what we do or what our role is, or what can I do for you?
Why don't you go ahead and just give us a little background and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so the State Fire Marshal's Office has a wide range of things that we deal with. Obviously, the one that we would think of immediately is the State Fire Prevention Code and making sure that we have fire prevention in place. But we also do all of the arson investigations, so we're also a law enforcement agency in the state. We also oversee fireworks, we oversee explosives, we oversee passenger elevators. That's our newest thing that we were given 2 years ago. Until 2 years ago, there were no safety requirements for elevators in the state of Kansas. So you could install an elevator and never have it checked or serviced or anything else. So now that's changed. Good and bad to that. We could get into all kinds of how policy, the second and third degree effects of policy, right? We also oversee hemp, which is an interesting thing right now. We have production in the state.
So the fire marshal does that.
Yes. The hemp, not the growing of it, the production, the processing and what comes out of it. That was put in our office. We also do statewide hazardous materials response. So if you have a hazardous materials incident in your county, the reality is, and people don't really realize this, there are very few people trained in most counties to handle that. And even then, your local fire department, for example, they train to the operations level. So they're able to go and be defensive in how they handle it. They can get people out, they can stop the stuff from spreading, whatever else, but they're not trained to be offensive, which is the next level up. And that's where we have 9 teams across the state that are contracted with us. The nearest one for your area, Topeka Fire Department has a team. They deploy 8 technicians up, and they're the ones who would go into your plant here, for example, go downrange and plug an ammonia leak actually inside in an atmosphere that would burn up most of the gear your fire departments have, that sort of thing. So we have this.
So you were up in Sabetha when they broke the mercury barometer.
I wasn't, but our office was.
That was one of the bigger teams.
And that actually, that's one of those interesting things is, that's really not a emergency response. Once we control it, we know it's not going anywhere, that's a cleanup. And so our office does not clean up hazardous materials. Our job is to stop and stabilize things. But, if mercury ends up, and we've had it time and again, we just dealt with one in southeast Kansas last week, where they find it, and someone had broken a big thermometer out at a local park. Well, now all the cleanup of that becomes EPA and KDHE, and that we don't have a role in that.
Yeah.
So, search and rescue. So if you have water, if you end up with swift water rescue, for example, flash flooding, and you have a car that's in the middle of it, we have teams around the state that we support that are trained water technicians and have all the ropes and all the different equipment to get in and do that. If this building were to collapse, we have the folks that can, like Wicked Witch the West, lift the building up, get people out, that sort of thing, and those teams. So we have a wide variety of things that we do. What brings me here today is that issue of the state fire code. And so I'll just kind of in general issues, one of the things we're seeing is more development of assemblies, specifically wedding venues, those sort of things that are being built in rural areas of the state. And our office has done traditionally, and I've been in this office for 2 years this month, 2 years yesterday actually. 2 years, and it's kind of one of those you don't know what you don't know. But one of the things I've realized that we have done is a poor job of educating the public about the existence of the state fire code and our local fire chiefs. So specifically in this instance in your county, this family got together, built a beautiful venue. They went to their local fire chief, volunteer fire chief, and he told them there were no fire codes. They went to the fire chief of the county seat and asked the same question. He told them there's nothing out in your area, there's no code. He came and got his building permit and went through the zoning and everything else. And now, after it's already constructed, we find out, and none of the fire prevention things that should have been built into that building, like simply the signs that say exit, right? Or making sure that there's emergency lighting, so if the power fails and you have 300 people in this room, that they're not,
How do they get out?
how do they know how to get out, right? Technically, based on the size of that facility, it would have to be a fire sprinkler facility. However, we understand and we'll work with people on that because rural water systems were not meant for that.
Fire protection.
Yeah. So what we've done in this case with these folks is, and it's tough, there's a process to it, right? A legal process. I kind of look at it like a police officer out here at a stoplight. Stoplight may be red, but they're out there directing traffic at an accident, and they tell you, hey, come ahead. You didn't have to obey that because they've given you that, and we give that law enforcement officer that authority to do that in that situation. We have the ability to issue variances from state law under limited circumstances, but they have to do it in writing and in documentation, and then we'll work with them.
Sure.
Our whole point of this is to be yes. We don't want to say no as we go through. We want to find a way to work with them. So in the case out there, we're giving them a variance from them to have a fire sprinkler system as long as they install a monitored fire alarm system that has smoke detectors and those things in it. Unfortunately, that means opening up drywall. That means running, additional costs that had it been in the middle of construction, they could have avoided, right, from the very beginning. And it sounds like, I feel bad. I feel bad for them. I feel for them because it sounds like they tried to do due diligence to get ahead of this. And we as a fire service in general failed. So what Kate and I had spoken about was when people come in, if you wouldn't, we're working on the fire chiefs. We'll work on that, educating, and I've been banging this on them that the state fire code has uniform force and effect throughout the state of Kansas, everywhere. And cities and counties can adopt a local fire code, but that is layered on top of the state fire code, which sets state minimums. You guys can enhance it, you can build on it, you can adopt things that are consistent with it, but we can't. But local units of government can't go below that statewide standard. So it exists out there. So we're just trying to make sure that everyone knows that that's there. And we just ask that maybe in your permitting process, if you just tell people, hey, we understand you're building this, would you just make sure you contact the state fire marshal's office?
So I think that's what we ask Pete to do is put something like that in there.
Okay. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for, is just kind of that whole of government. I understand the frustration of people. I see this at the state level. I'll give you a great example. We've had people get Kansas Department of Agriculture licenses hotels, right? So the Department of Agriculture will give someone a license for a new hotel and say, yeah, it meets all our standards. But at the same time, that new hotel in a rural area never has talked to our office, and we find out about it after they've already built the hotel. It doesn't meet any state fire codes, and we've got to go back in and fix. So, but to them, they're like, well, the state gave us approval. Well, I'd love to see us as a kind of a whole of government be able to serve people better. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay.
Is that, do you have any questions about that?
I know, and I understand it. I was a little, because I got a call from the gentleman you're talking about, friends with him and everything, and he was like, well, why didn't you guys tell us? And I was like, I didn't know. I don't think we knew. So, you know, it's just kind of one of those catch-22 situations that everybody got caught.
Yeah.
Nobody's trying to slide anything under the wire or anything like that. It's just one of those unfortunate situations. I would have never dreamed in a million years if we would have had to do something like that. So,
Yeah, so even though the state fire code applies to every place that, the way the law is written, it says every place that people live, work, or gather for any purpose in the state of Kansas, with the exception of buildings used solely as one or two family dwellings. So even though that goes, it's pretty wide net, and that code exists out there for guidance, we don't have staff to enforce all that. So we look at the areas where there's a higher risk assemblies, where you end up with a lot of people and maybe there's alcohol flowing and all those things. People aren't used to it. Those have been in the past, historically, in the United States in general, areas where people die, right? The big one that a lot of things are based on was the nightclub fire that occurred on the East Coast not many years ago.
Yep.
In which if people were not out of that building within 90 seconds of the fire starting, they died.
Yep.
So that's the sort of thing we're trying to make sure that there's the right exits and the right ways. You know, that's not an issue that's run out there. They have plenty of exits. It's just making sure that some of the other safety pieces, fire extinguishers, all those are in place.
So you're working with them at this point?
Oh yeah, we're working with them. I've apologized a million ways to them on it, you know, but, and they get it. They're not happy, but they get it. One thing that's kind of nice though is in the bill that was passed, the One Big Beautiful Bill, there is a 100% federal write-off on taxes for installation or upgrade of fire systems, fire protection systems in buildings. So, and then you can take that, it doesn't have to be like over a 30-year period each year. You can take it at the time you spend it. So we've been giving information on that out to people trying to do that.
So you had talked about fire chiefs and educating them. What's the process that you're going through to educate them so that they know if they get contacted, hey, you need to do this?
Yeah, so we have, back up here for a second because you're getting into one of my other issues that we could talk about for a while is fire departments in Kansas. We have 600 fire departments operating in the state of Kansas.
volunteer and permanent?
Correct. And about 90% of those are volunteer departments, protecting about 95% of the geographic area of Kansas. So while most of the places we have are career departments, they actually have local fire codes and they actually have folks that are out there working with us to enforce those fire codes at the local level, like Topeka, for example, right? It's tough for us to reach some of these local departments. And some of them are not running many calls. Some of them have been disengaged altogether and just kind of running, I don't want to call them kingdoms, but sometimes they are.
Yeah.
And it's, your daddy and my daddy didn't get along, so we're not going to work together kind of stuff. And so we really do struggle with that. There are several things. So I have been sending as many emails. We've been working on, there's a whole new fire reporting system coming out this year as of January 1. Every fire department in the state will be using a new system. We're requiring them we're going to follow the law. They're required by law to use it. In the past, we only had about 50% of the departments in the state actually complying with that, but we're going to go for the 100% and push that. That's helping us make those contacts and hopefully do more education. We're also starting, I don't want to know how far you want to go with this,
Well,
but we're going to start a new fire chiefs weekend where we're going to bring people in for a weekend, especially our volunteers, and try to educate them on some of the other issues, the employment issues, the workers' comp issues, all these different things that they may not realize that they're.
I think our fire chiefs here in Jackson County get together once a quarter and have all the chiefs come together, and assistant chiefs usually. They meet with the sheriff and they just have a meeting together. And say for here, that would be an easy place to catch them all.
Yeah, I got out to a few of those. I haven't been to Jackson County, so I didn't do one in Jeff County.
But I could give you a good contact. The Delia Fire Chief kind of heads that up and does a really good job of that. But I mean, that'd be it wouldn't take 15 minutes at one of their meetings to educate a whole bunch of them.
I am impressed. Your county on the list of counties, like which ones I'm concerned about, which ones aren't. You guys, for the volunteer area, are fairly high. Yeah. And I've even come up here and taught. Our fire station here and taught firefighters. They're in the middle of, they're not doing the minimums, right? Because there is no minimum standard training in the state of Kansas for a firefighter. There's none. There's also, by the way, no minimum training standard for a fire inspector. So I can tell you to go inspect this building, right? And yeah, it's been inspected. Hasn't been done correctly. That's a whole other issue.
Right.
But they're going beyond the minimums. And they're doing firefighter 1, they're doing hazardous materials operations, they're doing incident command system training here. I've been very impressed with Jackson County and what the departments are doing.
We're blessed. We have some great volunteers and great departments. They take a lot of ownership of their area.
I will say, I think the states at some point, this is me getting into my soapbox, at some point we're going to have to look at consolidation like we have with everything else. And this other states are doing regionalization, consolidation. 600 fire departments, each individually doing all the administrative stuff they do, and it's not sustainable. So we just have that in the back of your mind when you're thinking about this. I don't know of any department right now that can stand alone. Any rural department in the state that can stand alone and provide as a volunteer the minimum requirements for fighting a structural fire. They all have to work together.
Yep.
They're all functioning operationally this anyway, but we're wasting a lot of money, in my opinion, on administration.
So would that be possibly a county position, someone who works for the county that oversees and does the administrative portion for these volunteers?
And that's what we've seen in some counties. Potawatomi County is a great example of that. And different examples. Reno County, there's several ways. Douglas County just went through a consolidation. Reno County goes through one January 1, where all their rural departments will become one fire district under the county. So under the County Commission, Sedgwick County does the same thing. They have Sedgwick County Fire District 1. It's under the County Commission. But what Potawatomi County has done is they've hired a fire coordinator and an assistant fire coordinator. They handle all the administrative stuff, even though local fire departments are still their own departments. They also they have a training officer. They work all the training for the county. So there are different versions of it, but.
So when they do that consolidation, do they eliminate then their boards? Because here we have a board in each county.
So, I didn't look before I came in to see specifically how you guys are set up, but I assume, do you have county fire districts that you as a county commission have established? Is it County Fire District 1, County Fire District 2?
So, they're all independent, they have their own taxing authority, they have their own board.
And that maybe possibly,
It's complicated, but yeah, they are, this would be, in the consolidation process, the county could arguably become the governing authority of all of the unified, consolidated fire districts.
Yeah, I like the boards, I like the local authority. I think that's really important because it gives them an opportunity to speak to what works in their area. But if we could help them by having someone who is doing whatever this administrative duty might entail, that'd be a conversation I'd like to have, because I know there are a lot of people who spend hours doing paperwork, and if we could do that for each one, and even work, it's difficult when they try to work through their budgets. I know they spend a lot of time in the clerk's office and help me out with this, so that may be a conversation that we had.
Coffee County is another example. They consolidated everything into one county fire district. They have a county fire chief, but they maintained station chiefs
Yeah,
at the different ones. So there's still that local piece. But as far as from a budgetary standard, when they look at buying equipment, they don't end up with this department buying the same equipment, duplicating what's there, right? If we need one for the county, we buy one for the county, right? And those, so I think there's a lot of that, especially, I don't know if you guys have seen the prices of fire trucks.
Yeah.
It is one of the worst things
Radios.
that happened.
radios.
Stupid expensive. Ours were, we just bought portable radios, and granted, we're working on a statewide basis and sometimes nationally. Our portable radios were $12,000 a piece. And
We got a deal then.
Yeah.
Only about
do you guys own any of the towers, or does KDOT own all the towers?
KDOT owns.
So we just got notified last week in a meeting I was in that by 2030, they're gonna have to invest $1.5 million for every tower site in the state. And that's 77 tower sites that KDOT owns, and about 90 some that local agencies own that are part of that system. Doesn't upgrade, it's all computer, right?
Yeah.
So just like you wouldn't have a 20-year-old computer sitting on your desk here,
Right.
you can't have that 20-year-old equipment sitting in a radio system. Anyway,
I appreciate the explanation.
okay.
If we can do anything to help assist with this, it sounds like Kate's already covered that, because now when somebody asks, they will get that information.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I do have one ask. I don't know if you ever get an opportunity to meet with your legislative delegation or speak with your legislators.
We'll be doing that in January. Yeah.
We badly need, we have a good state fire code. We have an international fire code. It's the same one adopted by roughly 44 of the states in the United States. However, we did not do a good job of setting up a system where it updates to the newer version, because that's growing. And a newer version, what it does, it doesn't become more restricted. What it does is it takes advantage of new technologies, of new materials. It gives, for example, if we wanted to work on one of your downtown buildings here, apartments up above, it would give, instead of us just saying, well, I'm going to have a sprinkler system, there are different things that we can build with it while they're doing it that would maybe make it so it's, we wouldn't have to do it. Right now, things are very, very black and white. We're in the 2006 version. We're the oldest fire code in use in the United States. And we really have no path forward on updating that because of the process that's in place. And it updates every 3 years. Lithium-ion battery systems, backup systems in homes, backup systems at buildings. None of that's in our code. We don't have anything. Our coding was made before the iPhone existed. So
Okay, so let me throw this at you since you just brought that up. So most new builds in urban areas and cities are required, I believe, now to put in hardwired smoke detectors. Is that correct?
So and I'm going to maybe get the date wrong, so don't quote me, but state law in Kansas passed back in the 90s. I believe it's 1999. Every residential structure built after that date is required to have direct wired fire smoke detectors built into the home or apartment from that point forward.
Okay,
So that's not in the code, that's a state law.
Okay, so my point on that is then, so on a resale now, or my old farmhouse that was built in 1926, whatever. So are you going to retroactively, or is there anything that says you retroactively have to have that for a sale now, or do you know?
And the fire code in general in Kansas does not have any retroactive portions to it.
Okay.
Unless someone were to come to me and say, there's a major life safety issue in this building, like, no, we don't require people to come to the newest code unless it's new construction or they're doing major renovations, which generally is they're changing an auto body shop into a theater, right? You're changing the use of the occupancy, that's when we get involved.
Okay.
Or you're putting a child care center in some place, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you, there are lots of great stories out there of things we find. Just in just over your county line this July, we found that they were operating a fireworks stand inside a child care center. And And then they couldn't understand why we objected to that. So, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate your time letting me come up and talk to you guys.
I appreciate your explanation. I appreciate you taking the time to come up and
Oh,
visit.
I wish I could come out.
I got educated.
105 counties, and we're trying to work with the Kansas Association of Counties and the municipalities and try and get some of this information out.
You know, our meeting's coming up in a week. Yeah, a week and a half, something
Week and
like
a
that. That'd be a great place to put on a seminar for when all the commissions go to the KAC conference.
Oh, I love the opportunity
We
to.
can get all the KAC down there to be
Get
good.
hold of Bruce Cheney and
Yeah.
he's the administrator.
Yeah, that was off my radar. We've tripled the number of things we're involved in the last year, trying to get out the stakeholders and be more involved and communicate with people.
Yeah.
Because our office for too many years just kind of sat by itself, took care of just some very narrow areas, and left a lot of things just to go. So we're trying to catch back up, get statutorily where we're supposed to be.
Well, you might also talk to him because, as Keith said, in a week and a half, we go to the full-blown conference, but after the first year, I think it's in March, they have another conference that they're always looking for speakers for to try and pass things on. So like I say, I'd get a hold of them and see what they've got set up. If they've already got it set up, get on the agenda for the one next fall.
Yep, that'd be great. Well, thank you.
Yep.
It's good to see you again. Hopefully I won't be too them like I met you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Just so I said hi. Okay, we'll do.
Very good. Thank you.
I'm going to be pastor with the swather, and look back over the hill, and it was on fire. I hit a rock. I didn't know green grass could burn that quick.
Good,
Yes.
alright.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Kate.
Thanks.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive.
Yeah, we get her.
Huh?
You get her down here.
Oh, yeah, no. Do you need her at this
Yeah.
point in time?
I think so.
Okay,
If you can give her.
I'll wait till she gets here, then I'll make the motion. I didn't know that about the fire alarms or the detectors and judgments. They have to be hardwired.
Any new construction?
That isn't,
And I don't think half of them are.
for sure.
I don't believe half of
Been,
them.
been a while too, you had to do that in the basement.
Well, let's see, it's in 1990,
99.
99.
Yep.
I can. Been in several.
So why do they
years,
still sell-
After 1999.
So why do they still sell battery operated? Answer that.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, but you do extra ones.
And some of us live in hospitals.
That's true.
If it's electrical fire. Okay. Move we go into executive session for the purpose of personnel matters, non-elected personnel. A matter of maybe 20 minutes unless you object. Beginning at 11:24. For purposes of employee performance, thank you. They include Aaron, Scott, and the commissioner and our attorney.
I'll second it.
Resume back here
At the end, yeah, reopen in this room. Sorry you had to wait so long.
Do we make a motion?
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I wish somebody would help mine come a little bit. He said.
We do have official minutes to sign here. So at least I'll get started on those. So is this from which one?
We need one before that, but you guys have already signed, it's just.
Okay,
when I
this is
say
the-
every pages, right?
so we don't need to worry about that.
No, because it's already in the book, but when I went to print the next one, it's already out.
Okay, all right, perfect.
Kate came down while we were sitting outside and asked, this is a, zoning compliance application,
Mhm.
and so she added this state fire marshal.
Yes,
step.
she did.
Yeah, she gave that to us.
Okay, so she just wanted to ask that you adopt this, adding this, or do they need
Okay.
to do that in the meeting?
Do we need to do it or just give a general consensus, this is what we want?
She added that.
It's an application.
Yeah, it's just an
Just that
application.
highlighted part right there. She just added this piece. It wasn't on there previously.
I think it's probably good if you guys approve it by motion.
Okay,
Move that we approve the addition of the fire marshal paragraph to the application for zoning.
I'll second.
been properly moved and seconded to add the addition of the paragraph number 6, state fire marshal, to the zoning compliance application. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Didn't say Chairman Gerhardt.
I didn't.
Next time.
No. Fact.
It'll be too long road.
I'll have to resign.
You with me?
Yes, did you have anything else with for us?
I don't think so, that was my list.
All right. And we will see you next week. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Me too.
Just remember to bring all your information on the bridges.
Oh, I got it down.
The bridges of Jackson County.
You're hilarious. All right, I'm going to vote.
Okay, any additions or corrections to the minutes of November 6th?
No.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes of November 6th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of November 6th, 2025. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Are there any additions to the minutes of November 17th? or corrections?
No.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve the minutes of November 17th, 2025.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the minutes of November 17th, 2025. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. There was one thing, we got an email sent through Christie from the sheriff. Thank you, buddy. Have a good holiday.
See ya.
An email sent from Christie wanting us to
For the retirement.
approve the badge.
And,
So,
badge and.
yes, badge ain't good, I'll let you badge. Okay, badge ain't good.
Service weapon.
Okay, so,
I move that we approve the, giving the service weapons and badge upon retirement to Todd, is it Todd?
Joe, what did you?
Joe Romans.
Joe Bones, thank you.
I'll second.
And for the record, this is not the first time this has been done, it's a tradition, it's been done for years, so.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded that upon retirement, the sheriff presents Mr. Roman with his service weapon and badge. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. So we let Tim know that that's good. We get writers cramp here, folks.
Sorry.
And then did you see the email from JaCo Holt about the
No.
the contract?
When did that come?
I think it just came this
Oh, it just came in?
If you wanna. No sense, but, I mean, if she wants to bring it down next week, I guess she can, but. I guess it's just, she'll bring it back next week, purchase order, written approval.
Oh, yeah, it just came in.
Yeah.
So did she send that to Todd? Yeah, send it to
Yep.
Todd. Okay, perfect.
And sent back for the changes that he wanted in.
Yeah.
When's Christmas dinner? Tara, do you know?
I think it might be this day, but let me ask. I'm not sure. Did you confirm the Christmas dinner date? Seventeenth? At what time? At noon? Okay. Thank you. Yes, 17th.
Who's in charge?
I think she has soldier. Marcia, is that Marcia?
Yeah, I know which office is doing it, and mine. Oh, yours, okay.
Couldn't get anybody else.
There you go.
I don't know why just one's on there. You'd have to sort through.
This one.
Was that 17th?
Oh, were you supposed to sign this one?
No, it's already been signed.
Oh,
That's what I was asking. That one's already been signed.
okay.
17th.
I just have the one sticky mark on there because I need to give that one to the sheriff. He needs it.
Okay.
Oh, he needs that? Okay.
He needs that one because he's in those minutes for something.
And just for you guys' information, Erin said she's gonna be processing gold on the 26th, which is Wednesday. And I said, just bring them down on that Monday the 1st, and we'll go through the end reader Simpson. I said, unless you see something untoward in there, let me know. But other than that, I'm gonna be super busy on that Wednesday before Thanksgiving anyway, so.
On that email that I sent you, do you want me to just move on to the next township? Are you okay with
Well,
that answer?
I just read that through and I'm trying to figure out.
Does Adrian not want to meet?
That's what he said.
Well, but I think they want to form their own committee, but we.
But that's what we were asking them to do. We didn't ask them to form a county-wide public meeting.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. If those folks and Adrian would like to meet with us, the same as Banner did, to address those things and talk about the form of government, they would be more glad to meet with us. If they don't want to meet with us, move on down the line.
I'm Danny, we're not asking for a county-wide public meeting on it. That's where we're trying to set up a meeting for each individual township. So if they don't want to meet with us, then yeah, move on down to the next one.
Well, I think what he's saying is, instead of like advertising it in the paper where everybody can come in,
No,
put it in
that's
the
not what
banner,
we're doing.
then that they will have their own little group come in
That's fine.
quarterly or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to hear what they have to say.
So I think that was quarterly to meet with Road and Bridge, not us, right now, so we can get things straightened out.
Right, but the very first Banner Township meeting, you said any resident who lives in Banner Township come to this meeting
Right.
Sure.
if you want to
Right.
discuss it. And he's saying they don't need to have that, they'll just bring their township
They'll
forward.
form their own little committee.
Yes. And do the quarterly meetings
With Road and Bridge.
Yes.
With Road and Bridge?
Yeah, so he doesn't want to meet with us.
Did you
No.
read the email?
Then no, I did read, yeah. I didn't read the part about
So tell him to set a date when he wants to meet with us, because they're gonna meet with us first before we incorporate Road and Bridge in the whole deal.
we're not giving him and a small group of people the authority to start meeting with Road and Bridge. The conversation is with the commissioners. If they don't want to meet with the commissioners, then move on to the next group. It doesn't have to be difficult.
No.
Christmas.
So have Jessica come down next week for the contract?
That's what you want to do.
Or unless she wants to print it off and come down now?
Your turn.
I'll bring it back next Monday. Okay. So we'll just do it next Monday, so. We'll reply to it and tell her to bring it back next Monday. So the planning commission then, that is up in planning commission members, 2 are up in December of 2025 are Jonathan Weimer, Luke Kennedy, and Jason Murphy. And then Jeff Grimm off the appeals board. Do we want to go ahead and get that taken care of now?
Have they stated they want to continue?
Jonathan is thinking about it, so that's the only one. The others have not indicated anything. I don't know if, I'm guessing that Kate has contacted him.
I'd like to, at the very minimum, just an email stating that they would like to stay on the.
Well, that's what I'm curious if Kate's contacted him, but she got this from Jonathan, so when she handed these out to me this morning, she said he's thinking about it, so, we can get some clarification for next month or next meeting. Yeah.
Now, when we sign this says that they reappointed.
Well, but there's,
She's doing.
no, because their term expires December 2025.
Okay.
So, there will have to be a new one of these printed out,
Okay,
because their appointment date 2023, 24, 25.
okay,
That's my take on it.
okay, that's fine.
I think that was for the newer members that we put on.
Okay, I got you. She
Trevor,
was just updating it.
Chris Gordon, and who's Ernie, and Doug.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So that needs to go back. Let's put that in the basket and ask Kate for clarification if those other members have indicated that they will serve, continue to serve. I know it's going to be coming up for reappointment to, I'm on DCAP, Northeast Kansas Multi-Health, and Northeast Kansas Environmental Services. And I know that's going to be coming up for reappointment. Anybody want to take those over? Linda? I said, guess what's coming up?
Yeah.
What's coming up next? When's reorganization start? January? Then Chairman Gerhardt had a nice ring to it and then minutes?
Nope.
And she said no. I said, well, it's a 2-to-1 vote, so, that's kind of a. All right, so then if no one, I guess I would entertain a motion to, how about, is everybody happy with the boards you're serving on?
Yes.
You're on,
Pat Gordon's, the LAPC.
and you were on the,
Adult community.
okay, so everybody's happy with the boards you're serving on. So I guess what I would do would be to entertain a motion to have the commissioners continue serving, reappointed to the boards that they're on.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to have the commissioners reappointed to the boards that they're currently serving on. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. So then I guess I would ask that you send an email to each of the boards that we currently sit on stating the reappointments. That'll be coming up January for my three. I don't know about yours. If you're on it for the full term or if you're on reappointed each year, I don't know. But I know my three are. They will need to be notified that I've been reappointed to those boards.
So Linda, if you want to sit on the adult community corrections thing this year, and have lunch and just go over that,
Doesn't matter.
I mean.
Since one half does the other, you want to serve on.
What board is Pat? What are you doing?
It's the LA, what is it? LAPC. LAPC, we meet every quarter.
What's the acronym?
It's the emergency.
Local emergency planning and training.
So where do you meet?
Over there,
And how often?
every quarter.
Every quarter. I don't know, might be kind of nice to switch it up, know what's going on. But it's usually pretty interesting, what they have going on upstairs. And, the judge usually there, so.
Good, I have here.
Go switch?
Sure.
Okay.
So then, I would entertain a motion to switch you two on your boards.
And when do you leave the Navy?
Once a quarter.
Okay.
And, yeah, they'll send a note out and then they'll, Aaron will send out an email letting you know, you can't be here, you can do it or whatever, but typically
Okay. That's all.
they'll be right here. Okay? Cool.
So I entertain a motion.
Yeah, so moved.
Second.
Entertain a motion to, it's been properly moved and seconded to switch Linda and Keith on their boards. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried.
There's been enough.
All right.
When was the last time you guys met?
Let's see,
Last month?
September, I think. Yeah, it should probably be coming up.
So then will you switch after the first of the year, or do you want to switch now, or do you guys talk
The
about
next
that?
one, the next meeting won't be out until after the first year.
Either
Yeah.
December first year, yeah, I think it's first year.
So,
Yeah, if you want to send just an email to both Pat and Aaron and let them know that we're switching, so they'll need to contact Linda through email and me through email. That would be.
Holiday weekend, what do you want living here?
oh, we got work.
I think.
About time. How are y'all?
Great, how are you?
Oh, good. Anyone going to court for jury trial in the next year or so?
No?
No? All right.
Did you get called?
Hey, huh?
Did you get called?
Written. So, how's Christy's mom? Anybody here?
Pat said she might get to come home today,
Oh, good.
so.
Well, we'll just all everyone here wishing you all happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Just end it up that sheet.
So,
Alright, you too, Dan.
anything exciting? I didn't see an agenda. They didn't print the agenda. Anything exciting?
It's on the
I
website.
gotta
She got a new computer, she can,
There you go.
All right.
Nothing exciting.
no, nothing exciting, same old
And
same.
you're sitting between a couple tough guys here, so,
I know,
I'm gonna
I know.
say
Hey, just get ready, after the first year for reorganization.
reorganization?
Yeah.
You mean chair or vice chair? Chair?
No, that's not true. You can keep it for 2 years.
You may need it. Who knows? Anyway, I'll see ya. Hey, gotta get together what we're talking about.
Oh. Yeah.
See what kind of inventory you have.
There you go.
See ya.
See you, buddy.
Have a nice day.
Alright, is there anything further to come before us today?
I have.
Linda? Sarah? Alright, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so properly moved and seconded to adjourn this meeting. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are in adjournment. Y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. Everyone anywhere, safe travels.
You all.